It was a beautiful summer day, and to be on horseback in the country. Sounds of hooves on gravel, the birds and even the grasshoppers were in chorus. And we were just walking the horses back, and as we crested the hill, I heard myself say, "That looks just like a big black dog." The blood drained from my face. I'd been there before. Not just in this place before, but in this very moment before. Everything was exactly as I had dreamt it repeatedly years before. Even the words I had just spoken. I'd met this girl at a church camp where we were both counselors. Our best friends had finally connected us against our better judgment. Our first date was a disaster. I was late and it went downhill from there, but we agreed to try again. By this time, we'd been dating for a couple of months, so we just clicked. So I'd been praying about her, asking God if this is the one He had for me. I knew in an instant that it was His answer. That was 49 years ago, and we have shared life from that moment on. We were married a year and a half after that. I've not received this kind of response very often, but when God answers, there's always a sense of this is right in the answer. Even if I don't like the answer. The hard part for me is to wait until God's direction is clear. I'm a busy person, and I would rather do something, even if it's wrong. Many of us have adopted the motto my dad used to voice, "There's never enough time to do it right, but there's always enough time to do it again." So I keep at it until I finally get it right, no matter how much of a mess I have to clean up. It's easy for us to drift with our changing culture that no longer believes in a loving, caring, and wise God. Instead, we often decide to follow the path that seems good to us at the time. Or we settle for advice we receive from others. Sometimes the advice is good, sometimes it isn't. On the other hand, God has promised to respond with good advice every time, if we seek it. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all, without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. That's James 1, 5-8. When we believe that God has our best in mind, and that He will answer in His way and in His time, we begin to look for answers to arrive. The only reason I connected my recurring dream that became reality with God's response was that I was seeking, believing that God would answer. God directed me to my life's partner, who has enriched and challenged me, even as I have enriched and challenged her. I've found that God truly does all things well. Expect that today. See what He'll do. Bye-bye.